Is he more athletic? That's what he worked on, the delivery, being more athletic, getting through his pitches and taking less stress off his arm and elbow.
It's interesting. You have career highs all last year, and you make adjustments to your delivery, and that obviously it's all about health. But you know what? He looked really good over there at spring training. Hopefully he feels confident and can carry that into the season.
And that's the thing, Nomar. It's about now seeing some results from those changes that he made during the offseason to still be effective as well as healthy.
Yeah, it's one thing to go through it and have that success in spring training because you're like, oh, it's nice, and it gives you some confidence. But you're right. This is all different. You know, once you're like, oh, that's spring training. Now I really need to see it during the season.
All right, we've got the Dodgers and Braves. Should be a fun series. The champs are looking to start the season 6-0. Let's head upstairs and send it to Joe and Oral with the call. Take it away, guys.
All right, John, opening week is brought to you by PNC Bank, and it continues under overcast skies on a chilly night, relatively chilly night here in Los Angeles. The Dodgers and Braves, the two teams that folks figure will be the best in the National League this year, and so far so good for the Dodgers, winning the 2 games in Tokyo against the Cubs, coming home to Dodger Stadium, sweeping the Tigers, and have a chance today to start 6-0, which would match the best start in L.A. Dodger history. Joe Davis, Or Hershiser, Kirsten Watson joins us in just a moment. Won a championship last year, and it'd be hard to come up with a better start to this follow-up campaign.
Now, they are hot. They're doing everything well. If they're hitting the ball to the ballpark, but when the ball is in the ballpark, they are catching everything. They've played errorless ball.
Not so good on the other side. The Braves are good. Braves are going to win a lot of games, but this has been a disastrous start.
Well, the last time they started 0-4, they ended up winning the World Series in 2021. So don't look at the start yet, but it is a nice time to catch these guys. Their ERA almost 5. Their runs scored in a game under 2. That is not a very good equation for these Atlanta Braves that were projected to be the second best team.
Yeah, just went down to San Diego, got swept by the Padres in a 4-game series to begin the year. For the Dodgers tonight, Tyler Glasnow makes his season debut.
It's riches for the Dodgers. When you talk about Snell, and then you talk about Yamamoto, and then you got Glasnow coming at you, and he hadn't even had an inning yet this year. Probably the best breaking ball statistically in baseball, his curveball. And if he needs a strike to get him off speed, that's going to be the slider. But that fastball is electric, too.
Let's bring in Kirsten. You've got an update on the lineup.
Yeah, Joe, no Freddie Freeman in there today. Dave Roberts said that he had a slight mishap over the weekend, actually slipped in the shower, tweaking that right ankle, the same one that he had surgically repaired this offseason. The good news is that he wanted to be back out there today, so as of right now, he's only day-to-day. But we know Freddie Freeman. He's going to do anything he possibly can to get back out there as soon as possible, guys.
Yeah, I was going to say shocking. He wanted to be back in there. Always does. Dodgers and Braves, the first in a 3-game series between these two National League heavyweights, coming up on Sportsnet LA.
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned.
from first pitch, Dodgers and Braves. No Freddie Freeman in the lineup against his former team. He slipped in the shower and hurt that ankle that was surgically repaired during the offseason, Jerry. So it's Kike Hernandez getting a start at first base.
Listen, obviously we hope Freddie Freeman comes back sooner rather than later, but I mentioned it earlier, what a tremendous luxury to have a guy like Kike Hernandez on this team to spell guys like Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, and the other guys too. So Kike Hernandez getting some at bats tonight, he's going to make it count.
This is why they value versatility, to be for moments like this, to be able to plug and play and really not lose a beat. You know, defensively, he goes out there, gets the job done, and the spark on the offensive side.
And good to see Kike Hernandez out there after dealing with a little bit of an illness in that first series against the Detroit Tigers. Dodgers and Braves coming up. We've got an all-time hair matchup tonight because you've got Tyler Glasnow starting for the Dodgers against Grant Holmes, former Dodgers first-round pick for the Atlanta Braves. So this should be a fun baseball game here at Dodger Stadium, Jerry.
Love the hair.
First pitch coming up next.
This is huge!
Play is brought to you by Heffernan, because you're different. And by Carl's Jr., introducing Carl's Jr.'s new triple burgers. Next time, tell him to triple it. Temperature down to the low 60s, high 50s today as Tyler Glasnow takes the ball for his season debut, facing off with the Atlanta Braves. Here comes the Braves lineup, presented by your Southern California helpful Honda dealer. It is Michael Harris to hit leadoff for the first time this year, with the news today coming down that Jurickson Profar has been suspended 80 games for a PED suspension. So Harris, the first guy, gets plugged into the leadoff spot with him out. Austin Riley bats second at third base, then Matt Olson at first base hitting third. Marcell Ozuna at the DH bats cleanup. Ozzie Albies at second. Drake Baldwin, the rookie catcher, hit sixth, followed by Brian De La Cruz, Jared Kelenic, and the shortstop Orlando Arcia. Second season with the Dodgers for Tyler Glasnow. Had an all-star first half, but only 4 starts after the all-star break. First he dealt with the back issue and then the elbow soreness, and he says the #1 goal this year is to stay healthy, and if he does, this is a Cy Young candidate.
This is an elite talent on the mound. We got to see it an awful lot last year. He wants us to see it more than 22 starts. And if he does more than 22 starts, gets closer to 30, 31 starts, that win column not going to be a 9 this year. It's going to be a lot better. And the arsenal that he'll throw at you is fantastic. But it's between the curveball and the fastball, the 13-mile-an-hour differential. That's a good differential, but the biggest thing about that curveball is the break. His extension from the mound with his large frame and the break of that curveball is almost unhittable when he lands it.
Yeah, it was the #1 curveball in baseball last year. Opponents hit .098 against it as he went 9-6 at a 3.49 ERA. He'd just love to extend that over a full season. And he'd love to get the Dodgers to 6-0 to match the best start in LA Dodger history with the '81 team. Michael Harris climbs in, and off we go with a fastball, a swing and a miss. He was going after it, but came up empty. And that has been the story for the Braves this year. Coming up empty, 0-4, getting swept in San Diego, getting shut out the last 2 games. 7 runs total over the 4 games at Petco Park for a lineup that is still without Ronald Acuna. It'll be about a month or so before he comes back, recovering from knee surgery. And now will be without Profar for 80 games. Swing and a miss. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night using the 2 pitches that you featured.
He does land the curveball here with the 2-strike count, and you can see the break on it. A lot of times last year we'd watch him throw a curveball and he'd throw one good like that, but he'd also bounce one at about 50 feet. He's got to get a little consistent with it and then watch out league.
Yeah, if he and the Dodgers strike out 7 in this game, you get a free Jumbo Jack. LA area restaurants. Austin Riley fouls off 97. Riley had a home run in San Diego. All the runs for the Braves came over the first 2 days of that series, as you saw 22 consecutive scoreless innings for this offense. Glasnow's 0-1. So some subtle changes to the delivery, subtle enough where most people say, yeah, I can't see a difference. I was even talking to Will Smith today, so I didn't know there were any mechanical changes. Fastball speeds by him. I asked Brandon Gomes about it, the Dodgers GM, and he said the main thing is how they're making him feel. He feels like there's significant changes with the way the ball's coming out of his hand as a result. Oh my goodness, fastball explodes in there. Riley takes strike 3.
This is on line. I mean, you want to be behind the baseball when you throw it. You don't want to be falling off to one side or the other. And he is directly behind it with great extension.
And he said that's the thing. He thought last year he flew open too often, and that was putting stress on his arm. So a couple things, you can't be as accurate, and then the injury issues that come out of it. So focusing on, in his words, staying closed in his delivery. A little high here to Matt Olson. What's he mean by staying closed?
Well, staying closed is the front side, so you don't want to think about throwing the ball before your front foot hits. You want to save those lever systems of your shoulders and your hips till the very end. So you can see as he lifts his leg and leaves the rubber and heads towards the catcher, he is still closed, where his shoulders and his hips are really in a line with home plate, and then they don't open till the very end.
Here's 1-1 offering. It is a curve that lands for a strike. And because he's so long levered, everything's magnified, everything's amplified, those little differences.
Yeah, it's like being a tall golfer, right? You get it a little bit offline as a tall golfer, it is accentuating your misses. Guy that's 6 foot or under, maybe he'd miss by a little bit and he'll still be in the fairway. This guy would be in the rough if he misses his alignment.
Glasnow's first inning of the season. Spikes that one, 2-2.
His curveball breaks so much that I'd love to see him throw it near a little bit higher. And we see that with Clayton Kershaw in his prime, where it just drops out of the sky. And even if it ends up high, it fools the hitters.
The 2-2. So it's full on Olson. Olson and Ozuna 3 and 4. Only 2 hits apiece for those guys in San Diego, but both patient. Both drew their walks. 4 of them for Olson, who waits on this 3-2 from Tyler Glasnow. Chopper to second. Tommy Edman. Electric first inning for Tyler Glasnow. Off and rolling. Dodgers and Braves. Back in a moment. games with 3 home runs for the Dodgers. What a run it's been. First time in 4 years they've been able to say that. They finished the 21 regular season by hitting 3 home runs in 4 consecutive games. And that has powered them forward to this 5-0 start. And this lineup presented by your Southern California helpful Honda dealer. As Kirsten told you, won't have Freddie Freeman in it. Tweaked his ankle. Hopefully it's just 1 day off. And so Teoscar Hernandez up 3rd. Conforto batting 4th today. Max Muncy dropping down to the 7 spot. Guess who's leading off, though? It's Shohei Ohtani. Dodgers facing off with Grant Holmes. His 1-0 pitch. This is away, ball 2. Holmes is 29 years of age, out of Conway, South Carolina. The Dodgers drafted him in the 1st round in 2014. It'd be a decade before he made it to the majors, though. Went from the Dodgers to the A's in the Rich Hill deal. He had an 8 ERA in AAA. The next season, he had an 8 ERA in AAA again. And so the A's cut him loose. The Braves picked him up, and he finally got his chance in the big leagues last year. 3-1 on Ohtani. Gets his chance in the rotation to start this season. Spencer Strider's out. Yeah, he'll be back before too long, but it's Holmes here for Game 5 for Atlanta. Ohtani takes down the middle, 3-2. 6 hits, 5 walks, only 3 strikeouts for Ohtani so far this season. 5 of those 6 hits have come here with 2 strikes. Holmes throws, Ohtani bounces it foul. We'll do it again.
Shohei's seen a 2-0 curveball and a 3-2 curveball, so a lot of respect here as the first hitter of the game.
That's one of the pitches that helped Holmes break through. He went to his curveball grip from when he was in high school. He said this still works. Another payoff in the dirt and a leadoff walk for Ohtani.
When Holmes has success, it's chase and whiff rate, and that is something that the Dodgers don't do. So this could be a tough equation for him.
Leadoff man aboard, Mookie Betts coming up. It's Saturday off after a Friday night that he's going to remember for a long time. Would have had he gone 0 for 4 because it was the ring ceremony, his 3rd ring. But then 2 home runs, really won the game twice. He had the home run in the 8th inning that put him in front. And then he had the walk-off home run in the 10th. Then he did it all with the context of coming back from that stomach bug that forced him to drop all that weight. And a 1-0 from Holmes. It's in the dirt. Good stop by Baldwin.
Mookie got 1 pitch up and he hit it for a home run, just barely cleared the left field wall. And then that 1,000 down and into him. That's an off-speed pitch that he won the game with, the 3-run job that he supplied all the power. That was a split change.
2-0. Ooh, had one to hit, 2-1. Mookie said after the game on Friday, I'm proud. I'm proud of this. The 2 home runs, knowing everything he'd gone through over the past week. Couldn't keep any food down. Felt like he couldn't swing the bat as fast as he wanted to. They'll fight back from that. He's not somebody who often will go anywhere close to that kind of thinking, being proud of himself. So you know how meaningful it was for him when he said that. Ohtani at first. 2-1 from Holmes. There goes Ohtani. His bat slaps it foul.
With Mookie, you know, as he was trying to get better, he revealed the emotions, that how deep they were, with talking about, you know, just laying with his wife on the couch and just crying in her arms, like, how do I get back when I can't even hold anything down? Those 2 home runs, they made him feel really good.
And showed the emotion. Backs up, count goes full. Same pattern on both hitters so far from Holmes. 2-0 and then 3-2. Ohtani reaches with the free pass. Let's see how this one crumbles. Hernandez waiting on deck. Ohtani not running. Betts grounds it foul. Now Holmes, who threw a scoreless relief inning on opening day, already 13 pitches thrown and not even 2 batters into the game.
I think the Braves feel when Strider comes back that Holmes will go to the bullpen.
Another payoff. And a high fly ball. Deep left field. De La Cruz back with room. Just misses it. You wonder a little later in the summer where that ball lands. Lands in the left fielder's glove for the first out.
It had the right sound, a very good swing on time, going to the correct part of the ballpark, but just a little bit too much elevation. Excuse me.
I knew where you were headed.
Yeah.
Just question if you were going to get there.
My tongue and my mouth had no idea.
Not great. 1-on-1 out, and Teoscar Hernandez to the plate. 99 runs batted in his first year with the Dodgers, leading the team so far this season with 6 runs batted in. Or last year he was unconscious down the stretch in run scoring situations. He hit .384 with runners in scoring position in the second half. Smacks this ball in the air to center. Harris going back. Goodbye. Career high 33 of them last year. His second this season. 2-0 LA.
What a swing. This is unbelievable power. A chilly night here in LA. A little bit of a breeze blowing slightly into right field, and he just turns the whole thing around.
The ball on Conforto.
Atlanta is averaging less than 2 runs a game, so that cannot feel real good that they put a 2 spot on him already.
Grounded along first and foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Conforto bumped up to the cleanup spot today. That's mostly to give Max Muncy a little different look, with Muncy struggling so far this year. But you feel good about Conforto moving up. A hit in all 4 games. We mentioned that Grant Holmes was the Dodgers' first-round pick in 2014. He was 22nd overall. 12 picks before that. The Mets' first pick, Michael Conforto. Saw him 4 times head-to-head last year when he was with the Giants. Reached all 4 times. Had 2 hits, walked twice. On this 2-2, he fouls it off. Michael drafted in 2014. The next year he was in the big leagues and in the World Series as a rookie. Hasn't been to the postseason since. And that is his driving motivation to get back there. All these guys that won the championship last year, and then 6 new players to this roster. None of the 6 have ever won a championship. So it's that balance between guys that have tasted it, want it again, and the new blood that would love nothing more than to join those guys. Full count on 3 of the 4 hitters. Here comes Conforto, takes the walk. And Rick Kranitz out for a visit. Gives us a chance to get a word from Morongo.
Get a free appetizer at Cielo when you download our app. Morongo.
A lot of 3-ball breaking balls. And he is showing tremendous respect or fear of this lineup, trying to trick people. But it's hard to trick people when you're starting out 0 for 4 with first pitch strikes. You don't really have the stuff. Holmes doesn't have the stuff to get back into counts and just live in the strike zone.
More balls than strikes so far for Holmes, who's now going to face Will Smith, who has been the Dodgers' most productive hitter through 5 games this season. A hit in all 5 games. He's reached base 10 of his 17 times up there. Will played a round of golf yesterday afternoon, and when he came home, Kike Hernandez was standing on his front porch. He said, "What is going on?" That was his first hint. Kara had planned him a surprise 30th birthday. 40 people there to celebrate Will. Hibachi and sushi and a Sunday off day and a surprise birthday for Will. He had no idea.
Kike was on the porch, the jester.
Yeah. Late on this fastball, 1-2. Will says his swing feels good. It's evident with the numbers, but he said the most encouraging thing for him is how well he's seen the ball. Everything feels slow for him right now. Late on this fastball, down on strikes. First K for Holmes.
For Holmes, the fastball is the only thing that's working. The rest of the stuff is not landing.
2 away, Tommy Edman to the plate. Three home runs in his last 4 games and a hit in all 5 so far.
One left-handed swing to come around. This little blooper right here can help, but then he hit one in the gap and powered it out of here. That is a good sign for the left-handed swing.
Bounces this ball to first, and Matt Olson's got it. He'll step on the bag and end this first inning, but they force him to throw 28 pitches, and Teoscar Hernandez takes one of them and turns it around to center.
On demand, plus stream MLB Network 24/7 for the entire season. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details.
1-2-3 first inning for Tyler Glasnow, and now Marcell Ozuna to start the second for the Braves. And a fastball a little bit high, ball 1. Ozuna had just 2 hits against the Padres, but he walked 7 times. One of the best sluggers in baseball the last 2 years. Inside corner, 1 ball, 1 strike. Boy, it's just exploding out of his hand.
It really is. And the ball has great spin. He's directly behind it, and he's just leveraging that ball with his frame.
You were saying during commercial, the other thing that we didn't touch on, when you stay closed, is guys don't see the ball until the last second.
No, if you start to open up early, they start to see your arm swing. You get a little better timing look at you. You stay closed, and then you get that full extension, which he comes at you about 7.5 feet down from the rubber towards home plate. You don't see the arm swing, it stays behind you, and then all of a sudden it appears out of the head of hair that he's got. That hair's in second place, though, as far as 2 starting pitchers.
No, that hair's in second place to nobody, nothing. Pretty good hair right there, though. Great curls. Comes the 2-2. Lays off the fastball. Granton's always had the curly hair. When the Dodgers traded him in 2016 for Rich Hill, traded him away from his barber, and he's always been particular about his hair. Ozuna takes a leadoff walk, and so he didn't let anybody touch it that year after he was traded, and got to the offseason, looked in the mirror, he said, I dig it. I'm keeping it. And so he kept growing it. So it's the trade that led to the locks.
I'm digging it was a quote.
I'm just picturing, I feel like there's a pretty good chance he said that. Albies. Isn't it crazy? Ozzie Albies is now the old guy, now the longest tenured Brave. He was the kid that came up and gave him some life. Yeah, now he's been there longer than anybody. His 9th season, debuted in 2017. Tight zone here from Dan Bellino. 2 balls and no strikes.
Good adjustment from Tyler. He's been missing with the fastball up and a little bit to the arm side. Go to the breaking ball, get more out in front. Spray pattern a little off. Mechanics look fine. It might be just a little rhythm as far as the effort.
7 straight misses there. Back-to-back walks to open this second. So there's the mechanical side of it that we've touched on, is his focus staying closed. But the next step of it is getting beyond that, he says, and you dial those mechanics in the offseason. And then, in his words, I want to become external. Instead of thinking about how my body's moving, I think about the way the pitch finishes. I think about burying a slider as opposed to thinking stay closed so I can bury this slider, because he felt like too often last year he got in his own head about the way his body parts are moving. 2 on and nobody out. This is Drake Baldwin, the rookie catcher. There's a strike.
I would think with Tyler, if you look at the pattern of his innings from last year, real good with that first plate appearance, but it's that second time around in the order, or those kind of middle innings where he all of a sudden would lose it. And I'm sure that he has issues with dealing with that first wall of fatigue. There's an inning where you go out there in the 3rd or the 4th where you all of a sudden go, oh, I brought a little different energy, and you're waiting for your first energy to come back. And that can change your rhythm a little bit. And especially with his tall frame, changing your rhythm and understanding how to deal with that first wall of fatigue can really help you. And I think that's what he needs to do, is to understand no matter what I feel, I still can have rhythm.
Lifted to center field. Andy Pages going back at the track, at the wall. He's got it. Dodger Stadium just big enough to hold it and keep Drake Baldwin from his first career home run. Up to 3rd goes Ozuna, and 1 away in the 2nd.
It's interesting. I know it's a high curveball, a little bit of a hanger, but didn't look like he got much of it. But this ball really carried, and Andy does a nice job getting it before the padding.
Left fielder number 14, Brian De La Cruz.
Double play is still in order, though.
And you get a guy coming up here in Brian De La Cruz, who is a big-time strikeout victim, or big-time strikeout candidate. Umpires coming together here. I don't know if the Dodgers appealed at second to see if Ozuna tagged.
And to check of where Albies was coming from first, if they were crossed each other at all.
Ozuna says, I'm good. Plate umpire is also the crew chief in Bellino. Veteran crew here. You got Tony Randazzo, Phil Cuzzi as well, and then a rookie umpire in Clinton Vondrak.
The crew chief can go and look at the replay if he wants to get a read on it.
Oh, they just came together and said, all good, everybody's safe. I don't think Albie's got far enough for it to be a conversation, so it had to be about the tag, and no luck for the Dodgers on that. All right, so first and third, one away, and De La Cruz comes up. Going to get some more time with Profar's suspension. De La Cruz, who spent the last few seasons with the Marlins, went over to the Pirates at the end of last year. In his first year in Atlanta, good stop right there by Smith. This is an area where the Dodgers have been exceptional. Hitters are 6 for 47 against LA with runners in scoring position. 2-0 on De La Cruz. And again, the Braves 1 for 22 with runners in scoring position. That all came in the first 3 games. Yesterday they had a guy in scoring position for 2 seconds and he got backpicked. In the air, right side of the infield. This is going to continue their malaise. 2 out. And now he can hunt getting out of this. See the frustration, though, shaking his head to himself.
Yeah, the starting pitchers, when they've gotten in trouble, they've been setting the table for the opposing team with the walks. You can think of Sasaki and Glasnow in this inning.
Jared Kelenic, 2 on, 2 out, 2-0 game. Fastball to the knees, strike 1. Kelenic until Acuna comes back, part of platoon in right field, although that changes with Profar out. Kelenic a chance to get a little more time. 2 out of 13 with a home run in San Diego. Slices this fly ball to left field. On comes Conforto. Out goes Betts. Tyler Glasnow pitches around the pair of walks. From Teoscar Hernandez has the Dodgers on the board first. We go to the bottom of the second. Joe Davis, Or Hershiser, Kirsten Watson, and it's Max Muncy to lead things off against Grant Holmes. Muncy slides down and bats 7th today. 1 for 18 start to this season, 9 strikeouts. Dave Roberts said he liked the at-bats in Japan. There were a couple walks in there, but thought that he got a little bit jumpy, not quite as patient here. A few games against Detroit. I'm hoping just to give him a different look. Try to give him some kind of good feeling, and He said Max actually came in and gave him a hug. He said, hey, I know you're doing this not as any kind of punishment. This is for my own good.
Got a little too much chase in him right now, and he's one of the most disciplined hitters in the league. So when you see that percentage almost double, you worry about it. The league is spinning an awful lot of pitches to him.
You see when he's right, his identity is those long at-bats, power, but also the patience. Leads off this second. And taps one along the line, foul. Perhaps he just needs a torpedo bat.
Ooh. That is the craze right now. That's getting in the news everywhere.
The Yankees using torpedo bats, as they're calling them. Hitting 1 million home runs this weekend. He just barely got a piece there to stay alive. They hit 9 home runs on Saturday, a new Yankees record. And I hear the Yankees have been playing baseball for a while. They hit another 4 home runs yesterday, 32 runs in the 2 games. They're custom made. They're legal, fully legal, but they're custom made to have the thickest part of the bat be the part of the bat that each individual player wears out. So everybody's sweet spot is a little different. These bats are just custom made to address that. Muncy dumps a ball into right center field, and with a new look in the lineup, he gets a good feeling. First hit since Tokyo. For more on torpedo bats, here's Kirsten.
Yeah, Joe, it has been the #1 topic today, and so I had to ask a few of the guys if what they knew about them. So Max Muncy in specific, none of the guys for the Dodgers are using them at the moment or have their hands on them, but Max is one of the 3 guys who has already put in his order to get the torpedo bats. They're hoping that they'll arrive as early as Wednesday. For now, it's just about testing them out. It's a lot about the feel and if they like it or not, but this is a bat by Marucci. That's a company that they fit all of the players with their bats during spring training in the off season, so they kind of were at a surprise that they hadn't seen these just yet, but they are interested to learn a little bit more about them.
I asked Robert Van Scoyoc, any of the guys have any yet? And he said no, but literally they're all ordering them. Here's bounce to short, to second for 1, over to first, a double play. And Hernandez rung up, 2 gone here in the second, and Van Scoyoc said, I don't blame him. He said, I think it's a great idea. It makes total sense.
Yeah, not everybody's going to immediately bring them into the game, but they're going to experiment with them for sure. And I don't know, if Max would have had a torpedo bat on his ball that he hit to right field, it might not have gotten that far, because that would have been the thin part of the bat where they thin out the end towards the end of the barrel. The science is they're just trying to get more mass behind where the hitter normally hits the ball or hits it for the highest percentage.
Andy Pages, 2 out, base is empty. 1-1.
The bat can be a maximum thickness of 2.61 inches, and so, but you can move that width around, and you want to move it around, but you wouldn't want the whole thing to be 2.6. You wouldn't be able to swing it, right? You can't swing a telephone pole. So you do want the weight distribution to be so that you can have bat speed and really close to your maximum bat speed. But when you thin out the very end there and you move some of that mass of the 2.61 mass closer to the label.
High line drive, center field. Harris is there, and that'll do it for the Dodgers in the second. It's crazy, the 42-inch limit that they have, the longest that anybody's ever used. Babe Ruth, Joe DiMaggio, guys like that, like 36 inches. Right. Can you imagine a guy up there with a 42-inch bat? World Champion Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865. Tyler Glasnow delivers the first pitch. Orlando Arcia. It's upstairs for ball one. Glasnow walked the first 2 men of the second inning, then retired him in order. Put up a 0. Has to get that command dialed back in, though, against the 9-hitter here. He falls behind 2-0. There's a strike. First game for Tyler this year. He's got 13 or 14 friends and family here. Local guy out of Santa Clarita. Mom and his dad now live in the Phoenix area, but they made the trip over. Mom Donna, Dad Greg. They're celebrating their 36th wedding anniversary tomorrow. Greg mentioned that's April Fool's Day, so if I ever change my mind, I can always fall back on that as an excuse. Like, I actually was kidding.
Oh, boy.
And Donna said, well, I can use that same excuse. So watch it. Three-2 to Arcia. Strikes him out with the fastball. Big pitch right there.
Good range on that fastball. He got behind with 2 fastballs, one to the arm side high. This one he stays with it just long enough to get him to go for it. That would have been a strike even if he didn't swing.
4 more and jumbo jacks for everybody. Back to the top, Michael Harris. The Braves are 0 for their last 27. Last hit, 3rd inning last night. And that is their only hit over the last game plus. Harris has struck out his first time. 1 for 16 this year, and he's been extra aggressive, chasing way more than he usually does.
You can understand why he chased that curveball after the very good fastball first pitch. It's that tunneling effect that we always talk about.
Look at that. Strikes him out on 3 pitches again. He's seen 6 pitches, all of them strikes, both Ks.
That chase is set up by the hitter who's been chasing a lot, and an 0-2 count, and the sharpness of that breaking ball. You can see that should have been a take. That ball bouncing in front of home plate.
Tyler Glasnow struck out 10 against the Braves last season. He's already got 4 Ks in this one. 2 away for Austin Riley. It takes first one low. Riley, a strikeout victim himself, his first time. Glasnow a year ago, 3rd in the National League in strikeout rate, 2nd in average against. And progress when it came to staying healthy. It was career high in innings pitched, career high in starts made. He was perfect through the first half in health and named an all-star for the first time, but wasn't there when it mattered most. And so you've got a motivated guy right here, motivated to stay healthy. And you would understand if there was some motivation too, like, hey, don't forget about me. You know, there's a lot of hype about him as he comes in last year, but now there's Snell, now there's Sasaki. Don't forget about me. 1-2 to Riley. Strikes out the side in the 3rd.
Fastball for the first one, the breaking ball in the dirt for the second one, and then a high breaking ball that fools you for the last one. Join us on Wednesday. Take home a Shohei Ohtani 2024 National League MVP bobblehead. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
Do you cringe a little bit as you do that read as the pitch comes home? Like,
I said the ball's in the air, and I'm like, no, don't hit it.
Walked his first time, came in to score on the Hernandez home run. Swings and misses here, and he's in an 0-2 hole. Holmes got 2 strikes on him the first time, but lost him with that walk. On an 0-2, Ohtani couldn't lay off. The ball gets away. Won't be easy for Baldwin, who's able to find it and get it down there.
Almost looked with the deflection off the chest protector that Shohei ticked it with the bat, but he did not, and he was the one that told us it was no foul tip as he took off to first.
Dodgers 2, Braves nothing. Holmes to Betts. He just missed a home run his first time. Flat out to the warning track in left field. 4 for 9 so far this season. 2 home runs, 4 batted in, 4 runs scored in 2 games.
If that's what the light Mookie can do, I can't wait to see what the real weight.
Yeah. Big Mookie.
Yeah, big. Well, he's got to gain about 8 more pounds or so.
Mid 170s where he wants to be.
So hard to do as an everyday player.
Goes way out there to get a swinging bunt. Infield hit for Mookie Betts. 165-pound hit for Mookie Betts.
Wow. Release the top hand, keep the lower hand on the bat, and extend as far as you can, and top it perfectly for the swinging bunt.
He's aboard, and then Hernandez is up. Home run hitter from the first inning. Kirsten?
Yeah, well, you guys have hit on it for Mookie Betts. He's at about 165 now, still trying to get to that 175 where he came into spring training at. But one of the big things for him has just been working really closely with his chefs, and he actually shared that he has been eating during the game as well to try to put on just as much weight as he can. Also, to just keep his energy and keep him fueled throughout the game, guys.
And I asked him, what is the food for you? What do you eat? It's everything. I just eat everything. Also, it'd be amazing to have a chef. How about chefs? Plural.
Yeah. Back in my day, we used to take balls and trade them for Dodger dogs. Which concession stand did you get this from? He hits the ball 354 feet, and it's a warning track flyout. He hits the ball 2 feet in the air, and it rolls towards third base, and he gets a single.
Baseball. Ground ball. Foul. This was not a 2-footer. Another 1-2, smothered by Baldwin. Betts at first, 1 gone in this 3rd inning. Holmes to Hernandez with a 2-2, and he reaches way out there, fouls it off, stays alive.
Teoscar, on any ball middle in so far this year, is hitting almost 400. On anything away, he hasn't had a hit. And that's why they are just pounding him out there.
That's where he was so good last year, his pitches away. Another good stop by Baldwin. He had more opposite field hits last year than he ever had, by far.
Yeah, anything that's a 2025 stat right now is very small sample size, but we still need to bring it to you just to kind of tell you where they're at.
Takes the walk. Third one issued by Holmes. Back-to-back base runners for the Dodgers here in the third. And some traffic for Michael Conforto. Third one of the walks, his first time. They talked about Michael's trip to the World Series as a rookie and hasn't returned to the postseason since. His first career postseason at bat here at Dodger Stadium, homered against Zach Greinke. He's a 22-year-old. Ahead 2-0. So you're thinking like this is awesome. This is how it goes, right? Big leagues come up, play in the postseason. And of course, he wasn't taking it for granted like that. But the fact that he hadn't been back in a decade since. Smashes this ball to the gap in left center field, sailing to the wall and bangs off the wall. Betts will score. A double from Conforto. A 3-0 lead. It's a pretty swing, huh?
Yeah, I was thinking Freddie Freeman. He is backspinning this ball to left center, and that is so like Freddie. There is no side spin on this. That's why it gets all the way to the wall. You can see it barely curves over there and real close to going out of here.
Freddie approves. Second and third for Smith. How good Will is in these situations. Less than 2 outs. Runner at third. Number one in baseball in sacrifice flies the last few years. Infield comes in for Brian Snitker, knowing how hard runs are to come by right now.
Will's got him right where he wants. He's batting .500 with 2 strikes so far this year. Just trying to put it in play and especially trying to hit it in the air right here.
30-year-old in his 7th season. 0-2. Number 2 catcher in the majors offensively since he debuted. William Contreras, who the Braves had traded to the Brewers. He's number 1 in OPS in that time. Wilson Contreras, his brother, is third. You know, the Braves traded William away thinking, okay, we've got our catcher of the future in Sean Murphy, but Murphy's hit like 175 the last couple of years, is out with an injury, and so the guy they have back there tonight, Drake Baldwin, kind of a saving grace in that regard. Really excited about him. Here's another 1-2. Taken low, and the count evens up. Single from Betts, walk from Hernandez, double from Conforto. 2-2 to Will Smith. Count is full from 0-2 to 3-2. Payoff. Takes the walk to load him up.
He was looking for the strikeout so bad. He had first base open and he expected Will to chase something, but Will wasn't biting.
And now he's got to deal with Tommy Tanks.
Number 25, Tommy.
Rick Kranek's hustling out there for a visit, giving the bullpen some time to loosen. Hustling no more. And a word from Kia. Ground out the first time for Tommy Edman. 3 home runs the first 5 games of the year for a guy who hit 3 home runs in 3 years at Stanford.
2 of those 3 home runs have been on the hard stuff. The pitch that he hasn't hit much of is the off-speed stuff, the breaking ball, but he has been on the fastball since the beginning of the year.
Daniel De Los Santos begins to warm. Tommy Edman and the Dodgers hoping that it's a little bit too late to save it here. Running the bank on the double from Conforto. A chance for a big inning here with Hernandez at third, Conforto at second, and Smith at first. Kenny Powers look-alike. Grant Holmes to Tommy Edman with the first pitch. Not close. Doubled his home run rate since coming to the Dodgers. 1-0. Strike 1. Said, so where's the pop come from? You know, he never hit for any power at Stanford. And he said, I might not look like a big, strong weight room guy, but spends a lot of time on his lower body. He thinks his power comes from that work. Fly to center field. Harris going back, carries all the way to the wall. Plenty deep enough to score Teoscar Hernandez. 4-0. Sacrifice fly, Tommy Edman. Two out for Muncy. All right, his first hit of the homestand, his first time up.
He got a heavy dose of breaking balls in the last at bat, and he learned how to stay on it, stayed with that ball just well enough to get that single.
Healthy rip, comes up and fouls it off. Dave Roberts is hoping that the move would lead to just something for him to feel good about. Snowball from there. And that single his first time up, fulfilling that. This time of year too, when there's nothing, there's no body of work to balance it out, so you're walking up there and seeing 105 on the scoreboard. Ball 2.
Max's position in the order has always been about home run power, RBI potential, and on-base percentage, that you can put him in the middle of the significant part of the order because he's not going to make just easy outs. He will push the guys around and move everybody up 90 feet with his discipline. And that discipline does not wane no matter how big the situation.
2 on, 2 out. A 3-1 pitch. Muncy pulls it to second, and it's caught by Albies. Dodgers get 2 more. Double the lead. 4-0 through 3. Opening week brought to you by PNC Bank. 4-0 game. Dodgers ahead of the Braves to the top of the 4th. Dodgers trying to match the 1981 team for the best start in LA. 1955 Dodgers that eventually brought home the franchise's first championship have the all-time franchise record. Started that season 10-0. Matt Olson takes fastball up there. Ball 1 from Tyler Glasnow. 3, 4, and 5 for Atlanta. 25 straight innings without a run. That's their longest streak in 11 years. 2-0. And for a team that a lot of people figure is going to be the best of the rest in the National League. Projection systems have them winning 94 games. And Tyler Glasnow is getting irked right now by this tight zone from Dan Bellino. I mean, how can none of those be a strike?
That was a strike for sure, and one of the other ones, Dave Roberts giving him a little bit of an earful. There's one that's borderline but a strike. Electronically, this one borderline but a ball, and then the last one definitely hit the electronic strike zone.
So it's a leadoff walk for Olson. Third walk issued by Glasnow, and here's Ozuna. He walked his first time, his 8th of this young year. And so Ozuna, even though it's just 2 of 9 on the plate, or at the plate, has been on base a bunch with those free passes. No question. One and 2.
You got to favor the heart of the plate when the umpire is squeezing you. And so you need a little bit of movement. .90-mile-an-hour small breaking ball. It's a good pitch. The last 2 right there in that kind of area. I don't mind taking a shot with the curveball chase here. Make it look like a strike, end up a ball.
That was a slider up, and it got him swinging.
Stick with the slider. When it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's a little up. Boy, he got so many weapons, though. You can blink through a lot of different pitches.
Well, Baseball Prospectus has come up with some new metrics to grade the way a pitcher's different pitches work in tandem. We've talked about this a little bit for years. As Ozzie Albies takes the ball. There's so many ways to grade pitches, but they're all in a vacuum. And Baseball Prospectus has started to do work to try and picture them all together and how they play off of each other. What a stop there by Smith. Keep that ball in the area. Keep Olson at first. And what they've found a lot, but the main things are the deeper the arsenal, the better, for 2 primary reasons. Within an at-bat, the tunneling effect that you talk about. The more pitches you can have, the better chance you have a bunch coming out of the same tunnel. And then to be better the more times you face a lineup. 2 balls, 1 strike. And they have several different metrics to measure this, to measure the variety of pitches and the way that they play off of each other.
I think through the years we've known that certain pitches relate to other pitches better, but I understand that the deeper your repertoire, you can then vary that sequencing, and that's what confuses the hitter. We've always known that the high fastball relates to the curveball very well. We've always known that the low fastball relates to the slider and the split finger very well. But we can now measure that and measure it even deeper.
Line to center field, right at Pages.
We've always known that an atom ball is really good for pitchers.
Right.
Number 30, Drake Baldwin.
2 away here in the 4th, and here is Baldwin, the rookie catcher we've talked a little bit about. Opening day starter, day before his 24th birthday. Big bouncer Mookie Betts will step in the bag as it finds his glove, and 1-2-3 after the walk. Champion Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Jack in the Box. The Smash Jack is back with so much more beef. And by your local Kia dealers. Visit Kia.com to discover movement that inspires. 8-9-1 for the Dodgers in the fourth, leading 4-0. Strike one on Kike Hernandez. Bounced into a double play his first time and his first at bat since Tokyo. Missed the Detroit series with the stomach bug. So they took Mookie down for 2 weeks, so he got it, and I'm thinking, oh boy. And he said it was a bad 8 hours or so, and thankfully he recovered quickly. Playing first base again. That's where he's played all his games so far this year. So that's all I play. How often do you practice there, Kike? And he said, I don't. I play it when I play it.
He's that kind of athlete. You put him anywhere on the field, he's going to look comfortable and he's going to do an outstanding job.
Three-1 from Holmes. Knocked down at first. That is a blur that Olsen just plays goalie on.
That was a great at bat from Kike. The way he took the pitches that were just off the plate. We used to see him last year before he got the new glasses to chase a lot, but now he looks really like a professional hitter up there. I mean, really enjoying watching him in the batter's box.
Hit that 106.
Woo.
Eddie Pages takes outside, ball one. Had a great catch earlier in this game up against the wall. Drake Baldwin that close to his first career home run. Instead, our All-State good hands replay.
I love the way he played the wall there too. He stayed away from it so the wall wouldn't stick him, as far as preventing him from jumping very high if he needed to.
Good memories for Pages against these Braves. His 15th game in the major leagues last year. He had 4 hits, and his 4th was a walk-off hit. It was against Jesse Chavez, the former Dodger, who just got called back up today. He said, yeah, I saw the transaction, and I thought, hey, sweet. Good memories.
How old's Jesse now, 60?
He is not 60, but
no.
Close.
It just seems like he's been around forever.
It's 41.
41. All right.
5th stint with the Braves. Jesse Chavez. Chopper. Riley. 2 out. Brian Snitker was saying bring some pitching, but he also brings some positive vibes, and we can use all those that we can get right now. Ohtani with the bases empty and 2 out. Walked and scored in the first inning, struck out in the third. Strikeout is one of only 2 times that Grant Holmes has retired one of the top 4 in the Dodger order in this game. They've reached 6 of their 8 times up. One of those guys where he doesn't have to go very long before he starts to feel due. When he comes up, there's the roar of the crowd, but then there's an extra quiet hush as folks sit there and wait for the next big thing to happen.
A lot of people holding up their phones, taking video or pictures, and you don't see them yelling when they're trying to aim.
They don't want to ruin their own yell in their video either. Down on strikes this time. And Grant Holmes with his first 1-2-3 inning of the game. Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by your Southern California Toyota dealers as we welcome you back to Dodger Stadium where it's 4-0 LA. To the top of the 5th, Tyler Glasnow back to the mound between the logos. First pitch to De La Cruz is upstairs, ball 1. Bottom of the Braves order here. De La Cruz popped out his first time. He's the Braves' best chance. Back-to-back walks to open the second. Did not score. And the streak has gone to 26 consecutive innings without a run. It's the longest streak for the Braves since 2007. We ran into a young Justin Verlander one day. Josh Beckett the next. And they faced some good pitchers early on here too. No question about it. San Diego with Dylan Cease. Nick Pivetta was splendid in his San Diego debut. Michael King, and now Glasnow. Check swing and a curve, 2-2.
You're coming into a Dodger pitching staff that's been outstanding. Tyler Glasnow tonight has been striking out 6 guys. And take a look at these flights. Hit one of those. Well, they didn't. I'll tell you what, Dodger pitching staff last 10 innings hasn't given up a hit. We got a guy on the mound with pretty good stuff.
It's Glasnow, and it's the bullpen. 7 1/3 after Sasaki's short outing on Saturday. Another 2-2 to De La Cruz. Another curve. This time he went around. Dan Bellino says, I don't need Phil Cuzzi to tell you that. 7.
Number 24, Jared Kelnick.
It might be just a little bit more than a half swing, but it gets you some jumbo jacks.
Half swing, full jack.
Exactly.
Ball free. Jared Kelnick. Ball 1. Fly out to left field his first time. Second season in Atlanta for the former top prospect. One of the top prospects in all of baseball. And the expectations and the hype follow him everywhere. From Wisconsin, where he was one of the top high school players in the country, to the draft where the Mets took him 5th overall. Then he was the key piece in a trade. Edwin Diaz to the Mets. Kelnick the key guy going back to Seattle. Hits this one hard and through. Kelnick with a 1-out hit. And the first of the game for Atlanta.
Breaking ball that stays up a little bit. He does a nice job just hitting it hard and finding a hole. Another one of those at somebody, and you got a double play.
So 1-on-1 out for the 9-hitter Arcia, who had their lone hit yesterday. And takes a strike here. First hit for the Braves since the 3rd inning yesterday. That's when Arcia had his hit. Checks it. Evens up 1-1. You wonder how, again, with nothing, we talk about Max Muncy, the tough starts hard because you don't have anything to balance it out. For the Braves team as a whole, you got no wins to balance out the 0-4. All these hitters slumping together, dealing with what we're talking about Muncy dealing with. On the ground to third, Muncy goes to second just in time. Tommy Edman helps him out picking that ball.
Tommy has made some great plays around second base on balls in the dirt. Max Muncy does a nice job just releasing this one as quick as possible. And it looks like they just barely got him. You might want to look at it. Braves are taking a little bit of a delay right here. They're saying play on.
And 2 out, and back to the top and Michael Harris. But the mental toll of trying to get your season off of the ground for each individual and then the team as a whole. Harris 0 for 2, 2 Ks on 6 pitches. He's got an immaculate inning going against Harris. The 0-4 start. You had Profar suspended 80 games today. The guy that they gave the big deal to this offseason. Slash to left field, base hit for Harris. Last year's National League ERA champ, Reynaldo Lopez, he was placed on the injured list today. I mean, it's just a disastrous start. Saw Brian Snitker before the game. How you doing? He said, well, besides everything.
Right. I mean, we'll see when they get Acuna Jr. back. We'll see when they get Spencer Strider back. Those would be 2 huge pieces for them.
Tough thing is how good the division is with the Phillies and the Mets. You have a bad month, you could be sunk. Up to Riley here with 2 away. Got the call at the top of the zone. Braves have made 7 straight trips to the playoffs. They had 6 straight division titles before last year. They were swept in the wild card round by the Padres. Chased 0-2.
Yeah, this is where context comes into play as your pitch selection. Austin Riley knows that they haven't been scoring any runs. He knows they're 0-4. He knows they're down 4-0. And all of a sudden you throw him a curveball in the dirt and he's chasing. It's a little different if your record's different and the scoreboard's different.
Prayed on that again. Tyler Glasnow with 8 strikeouts through 5 scoreless innings in his first start of the year.
Come to Dodger Stadium on Monday, April 14th for Hello Kitty Night. The first 40,000 fans in attendance will receive a Hello Kitty Squish plush. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
Say that 5 times fast. The squish plush part.
Squish plush.
Oh, I said, geez.
Squish plush.
Our favorite cat that's not a cat.
Not a cat.
2, 3, and 4 against Enyel De Los Santos. Braves bullpen goes to work here in the 5th inning. Mookie Betts is up there, 1 for 2, singling and scoring his last time. De Los Santos in his first year with the Braves, 7th year in the big leagues, his 7th different team. He's 29, originally from the Dominican Republic. Most of last season he spent in this division with the Padres. Left center field, Harris makes the play. Good first step. Take a hit away from Betts.
It sure was. To the pull side, but to his glove side, made it look very routine, which it was not.
I'd love to have this guy stay healthy, but they've had to kind of fantasize what that would look like since he won Rookie of the Year a few years back. Back injury in 2023, hamstring issue last year. It's kept him from really jumping to that next level of superstar, but enough talent and good at enough different things where if he is healthy, that's what they've got, a superstar. Teoscar Hernandez, 2-run home run in the first inning, walk and a run scored in the third. And an 0-2 hole here.
We had mentioned with Teo that he has struggled with the ball away so far in this very early part of 2025. Braves look like they're going to stay out there.
Ooh, leaked over the plate and he made him pay, and he's been on all 3 times.
That is the patented backup slider. You go to throw the best one of your life, you overthrow it, it slips out early, and then it just hangs on the inside. What is a bad slider? It's a bad fastball at about 86, pretty doggone straight, and belted to left field.
And then what is a bad fastball?
I don't know.
Changeup?
A home run.
Yeah. Conforto just missed his first Dodger home run his last time, settled for an RBI double. 4 of his 5 hits have been doubles. Continuing some what he did late last season. A good finish to the year. He actually overall had the highest hard hit rate of his career last year with the Giants. We've touched on it, but was a victim of playing in that ballpark. Not a fun place to be a left-handed hitter. Happy to be in this ballpark this year. He said, I'm excited not to freeze in the outfield, too. How cold it is a lot of the time in San Francisco. His road OPS was 220 points higher than it was at Oracle Park.
It's good to see him come to a new club and not be too jumpy at the plate. The fact that he was driving the ball left center with backspin tells you that he's within himself right here and trusting himself, not trying to all of a sudden impress his new teammates, his new organization.
Down 0-2. Runner at first, 1 away. Grounds it foul. Enyel De Los Santos was the worst pitcher in baseball last year with 2 strikes. This is a new Enyel.
Yeah, it means he's had trouble putting people away and makes a lot of mistakes with 2 strikes. It's not like it's going to be a really high average when you're one of the worst, because of 2 strikes, you know, guys will hit around 130, 140, but he was well over 200 in his 2 strike counts.
Smith with 2 away, takes a fastball strike. Strikeout and a walk. on his line so far today. On base now 11 of his 19 times up. Hernandez takes off. He's in there. He was moving just like that as soon as that ball was loose.
It was a very nice job of base running, secondary lead, and then this ball barely gets away from Baldwin, but Teo picked it up very quickly. And then you see he's out on his front foot. That right knee of his bends, and he just keeps on going.
Look out, ball 2. On a 2-1 pitch, Dodger catcher Will Smith takes ball 3. Tommy Edman waits on deck. Got a good wave going. Got a really good wave going right now. It's full.
2-strike count. The Dodgers have been very successful tonight with 2 strikes. 3 for 10 with 4 walks. Can you believe it? 7 2-strike base runners.
Base hit center field. Pulled his hands in and ripped 97 into center to score Teoscar Hernandez and make it 5-zip. About him getting the barrel to that pitch
without a torpedo bat.
Oh,
this is in right where they're trying to put more mass with that new design torpedo bat. When you get it down by the label, there's going to be more mass there. The Dodgers have bats ordered for every guy in their lineup and on their team, but nobody's using them yet.
Strike on Edman. Brought in a run to the sac fly his first time, or his last time. A torpedo bat, we've talked about a few times. The Yankees hired a physicist from MIT, and it was his idea. He's now with the Marlins, but he started that adventure coming up with that bat a couple years ago. They were studying some of Anthony Volpe's at-bats, some of the data on him, and had noticed where he was wearing his barrel out was different than where the quote-unquote sweet spot was. And they started thinking, why can't we just move it? No 2 comes home. Edman rips a line drive to right field. Base hit. 3rd of the inning against De Los Santos.
Tommy has made a huge impact since putting on the Dodger uniform, but if he starts swinging the bat left-handed like this, boy, his impact is going to even go up. I mean, there isn't a detail of the game other than maybe him hitting from the left side that he is not excellent at. And now that left-handed swing is starting to look pretty doggone good.
Puts in a lot of time on that left-handed swing because the other side is his natural side. And every swing that he takes during batting practice, his idea is to shoot a line drive, a low line drive the other way. And he says, if I hone in that stroke during batting practice, make that just second nature, don't even think about it, that puts my barrel in the best place once I get into the game to adjust and succeed against the largest number of pitches. Power comes as a result of all that work that he does honing that bat path. Muncy. Something got away from the crowd. A souvenir. So kind of similar to what we were talking about earlier with Tyler Glasnow. You spend the offseason working on the mechanics, and then you let it happen. You go be an athlete. So Tommy, during the game, it's more, let's look for a location or a pitch type. Not thinking about, okay, I'm going to swing this way so I can hit this type of line drive. That happens at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You put that side of the brain to bed and let yourself be an athlete once the game starts. You've earned the right to put that part of your brain to sleep by doing the work.
The harder you train, the more natural it gets that you can just forget about it. Max has hit one ball pretty good tonight, got a hit with it, and then one other one that was an absolute bullet. I'd like to hit another one hard here and get an RBI.
25th pitch of this inning from De Los Santos. Good changeup to get Muncy. Dodgers get another run. They've got 5 of them after 5 innings. Tonight's PNC Bank slow moments. Tyler Glasnow, 8 strikeouts in his season debut, 5 scoreless innings. Only threw 79 pitches, but going to put an end to this one right here. And a successful start to his 2025 campaign.
It looked like he wanted to stay in the game, was having multiple conversations with Mark Prior and tried to give some hand signals to Dave Roberts like, I'm fine, but they shut him down, and he had a great night. The curveball and the slider were outstanding. Got 16 swings, 10 of them misses. At least it ended in a hug and leaving the game.
Matt Olson leads off this 6th. Jack Dreyer's on to pitch for the Dodgers. That is Brent Walker, mental skills coach. And Dreyer 2 1/3, 2 games in his major league debut. Hard throwing lefty. Downstairs 2-1 on Olson with Ozuna and Albies to follow. Dreyer, the former Iowa Hawkeye. 2-2 on Olson. So the bullpen goes back to work after the 7 1/3 scoreless innings on Saturday, where they struck out 11, didn't walk anybody. That's so nice. Your pen comes in and throws strikes like that. Overall numbers right there. 5 games, they've not given up more than 2 earned runs in any of them.
There's only been about 3 or 4 bullpens since 1906 that have done something like that. Struck out that many guys with no walks. So yeah, it was a kind of a one-of-a-kind outing for them. They're at 7 1/3.
Takes off on him here. Leadoff walk for Olson, his second walk today.
Broadcaster jinx.
Designated hitter Marcell Ozuna.
And now Ozuna. Walk and a strikeout for him. Braves, after getting shut out in the last 2 games in San Diego, shut out on just 1 hit yesterday, shut out on 2 hits thus far today. Down the middle and a strike.
It's a rarity to watch Ozuna take first pitch strikes or his first strike. He's usually hacking, hitting over 400. He is an early count swinger. There's the numbers to back it up.
Way up there. Betts is under it. Betts has it. 1 out in the 6th. Padres leading 7-2. They're hosting the Guardians right now. If they win, they'd be 5-0, and it would be only the second time that 2 National League West teams started a season 5-0 or better. 1987, Giants and Astros. 1 on 1 out for Ozzie Albies. First pitch curve misses to Albies. Fly to right center field, called by Teoscar Hernandez. He's there, puts it away, 2 out. There have been 2,500 big leaguers from the state of California. There have been 257 from the state of Wisconsin, and Drake Baldwin is number 257. Out of Madison, Wisconsin. Spent his winters playing hockey. And not just playing hockey, but he was the state's #1 goal scorer as a junior and as a senior in Wisconsin. And he played baseball. Went to Missouri State. Knew he was doing that all along. Swings and misses 0-2.
It is no bargain catching this pitching staff this year. And watching Will Smith with that ball in the dirt. You think about the 5 starters, including Dustin May, the growth pains with Sasaki on the mound, and then you got Glasnow, Snell, and Yamamoto. Talk about catching some breaking balls in the dirt and some 95 to 100 mile an hour fastballs. It is not easy. As good as this staff is, Will Smith and Austin Barnes are going to work really hard this year.
Some bruises to be had.
Some thumbs.
At the knees, Dreyer gets him looking and puts up a 0 in the 6th. 5-0 ball game. Well, you know how it finished. Last out of the World Series, Will Smith has that ball, and he's then tries to put it in his back pocket. Is of course what you do, right? You catch last out of the World Series. Box. Kike Hernandez takes a ball. Look what we got. It's the ball. And it is up for auction right now for a really good cause. So Will and Kara's foundation, the Catching Hope Foundation, is auctioning this ball off. All the proceeds are going to victims of the wildfires. So you can, we have the spot for you to, well, you have it right there, catchinghope.org, their website. The ball is for auction. I'm going to get you the right website here.
It's a partnership between the Dodgers, Will and Kara, and also the Bueller Family Foundation. And what a great cause to help Los Angeles.
TMNauctions.com. The auction is live online right now. So that picture you have right there.
Here it is being authenticated.
So I mentioned he had the ball. He went to put it in his back pocket to save it. He couldn't get it in his pocket. He's like, well, it's time to celebrate, so I got to give up on that. But he's not going to drop the ball. So he grips. He's like, I'm just going to grip this thing dear life. What is it they say on Meet the Parents? You'll have to pry this out of my kung fu grip if you want it. So that's what he's saying. He said that to the authenticator, basically. He said, the authenticator's like, I need to put the sticker on. And Will said, no, I'm not giving you the ball. And they came back 5 minutes later. They're like, we are the authenticators. We need the ball.
Yeah, you're
so
not such.
You see, he looking right over it. He said, I took it right back as soon as. Oh, here's a drive. That ball becomes a souvenir as well. Kike Hernandez, a home run to start the sixth.
Well, the World Series ball will be on display here during this series. It was on display the last couple games of the Tiger series. The art of the game, it'll be on display. So if you want to bid on it, that auction will continue. And if you want to see it, it will be on display here at Dodger Stadium.
If you want to buy it, though, go to tmnauctions.com, folks.
And who wants to buy it? I don't know if we're going to have enough money up here in this booth.
Pages strokes it foul. Hernandez with his second home run. Back-to-back games with a home run for him. He hit one in the last game in Tokyo. It's part of a 3 RBI effort. So 2 home runs and 4 batted in, the last 2 for Kike. This is Jesse Chavez, by the way. The end of the game to pitch, beginning his 18th Major League season. And for Pages, this stirs some of those good memories. That 4-hit game, second week in the big leagues. Capped it with a walk-off off Chavez. 2-2 on him this time. He's 0 for 2 tonight. As a team, 6 runs on 8 hits for LA. No runs on 2 hits for the Braves. Different day, different city, same story. And to center, Harris.
These Dodgers have been outstanding with 2 strikes again tonight. 6 of the 8 hits with 2 strikes.
We're talking about the ball that Will Smith and the Catching Hope Foundation is auctioning off. The 50-50 home run ball. That sold for $4.4 million. To an investment firm in Taiwan that has it on display in its lobby. And it's part of a campaign to grow interest in baseball in Taiwan. They got a whole bunch of Ohtani memorabilia there. And that is the centerpiece of the display. There was a trading card that sold over the weekend. 1 of 1. Commemorated the 50-50 game. It was signed by Shohei in gold pen, and it has the MLB patch from the pants that he was wearing in the 50-50 game on it. $1 million. Just over $1 million for the card. The company in Taiwan could have gotten 4 cards
You could start your own printing company, make one card, and make it worth $1 million.
Second walk for Ohtani today.
Shortstop, number 50.
And now Betts. There goes Ohtani. Throw from Baldwin. Not close. Second stolen base of the year. After the 59 last year.
Picks his spots, gets good jumps, and really is not a burner. He is a above average runner, but he's a very smart base runner. Good job on the slide, not jamming his left arm into the ground.
Grounded to short. Ohtani heads for third. Arcia throws over to first to get Betts. Teoscar Hernandez trying to keep a perfect night going. He's got a home run, walk, and a single. 3 runs scored. Chavez winds and deals. Smack to center field. Harris angles over and puts it away. Hit it right on the screws, but Harris is there, and we're through a 6. World champion Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Shakey's Pizza Parlor, serving up handcrafted pizza, crispy fried chicken, and famous Mojo potatoes for 70 years. 6-0 game, top 7.
Mentioned how Shohei last night jammed his left arm into the ground, and that will bring about damage and possible surgery. Tonight, much better job tucking that left arm under, not having the impact to the ground.
Alex Vesia comes into the game to pitch. Strike one. Brian De La Cruz, bottom of the Braves order here. Alex Vesia, 3 innings of work this year. Spent a lot of traffic. 6 base runners in those 3 innings. But like a lot of Dodger pitchers, he's pitched around it. Only run that he's given up came on a solo home run. Couple changes for you. Chris Taylor makes his season debut in center field. That moves Andy Pages over to right. Plug Taylor into Hernandez's spot in the order. That's third. De La Cruz on 3 straight pitches, retired.
Right field.
Managers just love it when you come out of that bullpen gate throwing strikes, and Alex Vesia did just that.
One away for Jared Kelenic. You know, one of the things we've not talked a lot about yet is the renovations that they did this offseason. And you'd never know it just by looking right here. But down below the stadium, there's a brand new building buried under this stadium.
3-story building.
Mm-hmm. They worked every day, construction crews did, around the clock, every day for 4 months. Think about the pressure going into that project, knowing that you had a hard deadline, because construction never finishes on time. Whatever they tell you, add a month or 3.
Mm-hmm.
But you didn't have that option here. It had to be ready, and it was.
So round the clock for 4 months. That's like a year, but you don't work 7 days a week. So it's, they squeezed over a year's worth of work into 4 months.
Because the stadium is built into a hillside, you can't just add square footage to the stadium. The only way to go is down. So they dug deeper. And they basically did like an open heart surgery on the stadium. They removed everything, took everything out, did their building, put a concrete roof on it, put the dirt on top of the building, and put all the ribs and everything back, you know, finished and sewed them back up.
Fantastic. Amazing.
Freddie said, I got a wine cellar, put it in my house, and it took like 8 months, so I'm kind of confused how they did open heart surgery on the stadium in 4 months. 2 gone in the 7th. The 9-hitter Arcia is up.
What I love about that story is that I want to go to Freddie's house now.
Oh, right. Yeah, he buried the lead. And then how about the surface? Less than a month ago, this surface was growing in a field in Indio. And then 20 semis came pulling into Dodger Stadium with hundreds of rolls of turf. They put it in over a 2-day span. Jordan Lorenz, the head groundskeeper overseeing the whole thing, he would make some trips out to Indio just to check on his grass, make sure it was growing right.
Well, and there's no seams in it, too. Usually, you know, you sod your front lawn, back lawn, wherever you do, and you get all the seams take a while to go away. Not here.
They pop up over to Kike Hernandez. Said he got ready just in time. It was looking a little dicey there in the days leading up to opening day, but nobody would know it.
Join us April 15th when the first 40,000 fans in attendance receive a Jackie Robinson replica 1955 home jersey celebrating the 70th anniversary of the World Championship presented by UCLA Health. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
Part of the Dodger lineup here in the 7th inning. Jackie slides into home. 1 ball, 1 strike on Michael Conforto. Walking an RBI double for Michael today. One and two. Chase, strike 3. Second time he's gone down on strikes.
A backdoor slider to catch the outside corner, and then comes back with a changeup, breaking the opposite way.
Another good day for Smith. He's walked and knocked in a run with a base hit. Takes a strike from Chavez. Jesse Chavez is the first player in baseball history to be acquired by the same team 6 different times. Good guy award.
For sure. A lot of times you find that with a utility player, but here's your utility pitcher. And he's always been brave enough to go out there even when it's going bad, to eat the innings for the ball club, and that's kind of what he's doing here tonight. But he's also had some outstanding roles where he's the kind of guy they can rely on, that the pulse is going to be fine. We can put him out there in a safe situation, or we can put him out there in the extra inning situation with the ghost runner at second. Never been scared of anything, and always a great guy in the clubhouse.
Bouncing ball, base hit, second one for Will Smith.
Seeing eye ground ball, but it is right there in the 6th hole. 3 hops and it makes it through.
One on, one out. Tommy Edman at the plate. Sacrifice fly and a single. Takes ball 1 from Chavez. Drafted 23 years ago, Jesse Chavez was, in the 42nd round. High fly ball to the right field corner. Jared Kelenics there. At a Riverside City College. San Gabriel native. To A.B. Miller High School in Fontana. What a career. 42nd round of the draft. You would need 2+ drafts of today's structure to even get to a 42nd round. It stops in the 20th.
He's 41 years old. He was drafted in the 42nd round. I'll bet you he plays next year.
Why would you bet against him at this point?
Nope.
I mean, last year, he had a 3.13 ERA. Year before that, he had a 1.56. So, yeah, he comes in and eats up innings, but like you said, does it at a high level.
There's not a role that he would not fill in a bullpen. I mean, if you needed him as an opener or spot starter to go a few innings. 63 innings, 55 strikeouts, almost a strikeout an inning. Pretty good walk ratio, under 20 there with those innings pitched. Little of this, little of that. Make it bend right, make it bend left. Every once in a while, sneak a fastball by you. There's the heater at 87. Out of that last window, he might go change up away.
Sinker away, ball 4. For now, Kike Hernandez has one of the 2 Dodger home runs in this game, his second game in a row with one.
This ball was loud. Whatever that was.
On the corner for a strike. Tries to lay off and does. Kike in his 12th year, 9th one with the Dodgers at 33 years of age. A little bit like Jesse Chavez, just keeps on coming back. He's been acquired by the Dodgers 4 separate times. Two on, 2 out in the 7th. 2-1 from Chavez. Hernandez lifts a fly ball to left center field that De La Cruz will wait for. That'll do it for the Dodgers in the 7th. Champion Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa, celebrating 20 years of good times. Great times right there. The Dodgers celebrating the World Championship. Second one in 5 seasons. Celebrating at Yankee Stadium after Game 5. Tanner Scott comes in with the top of the Braves order up. And spins in a strike on Michael Harris. Tanner still trying to hit his stride early on this season. He's given up a run in his last 2 outings, 2 of the 3 games against Detroit, after a clean debut in Tokyo. Harris 1 for 3. 2 out of 18 on the year. Thirty-year-old Tanner Scott, 8th season in the big leagues. Orioles to the Marlins to the Padres, and now the Dodgers on the top free agent reliever deal this offseason. 4 years, $72 million. Well earned. One of the top closers in baseball the last couple of years. High fly ball to deep center field. Back goes Taylor over his head and out of the yard. And the Braves have broken the scoreless streak. It's a 6-1 game.
That's one tonight, but it's only their 8th run in 5 games, 4 + 8 innings. Fastball up, and he just puts it on the barrel. Tanner supplied some of the power, and the rest of it was with that bat.
Snaps a 29 inning scoreless drought for the Braves offense. You can have that back. I don't want it. Austin Riley puts it in play for the first time tonight. Pages has moved over there with Chris Taylor coming into the game in center. One away. First of the season for Harris. And now here's Olson, who 2 years ago hit 54 home runs. Set a new Braves record. Drove in 139 runs. And kind of embodied the Braves because they all hit sort of like that 2 years ago. And then they all had a drop off. He hit 29 home runs, but it's 25 fewer than he had the year before. And the team had a big drop off. They went from the #1 team in the National League in baseball offensively to the middle of the pack last year. And again, it's relative, right? They were second in the league in home runs, but it was about 100 fewer than they had hit the year before when they set the all-time record. Wave and a miss for strike 3. Scott makes them look bad there.
Their season last year was built from their pitching. It was a downturn in their offense, and especially once they got to the playoffs.
5 of the 9 guys they had in their opening day lineup spent at least 2 months on the injured list. Of course, the biggest one was Acuna with a season-ending ACL. This is the one standout last year for him, Marcell Ozuna, who finished second to Ohtani in home runs, 3rd in average. He hit .302, and he played in every game. Almost hit him. Big swing and a miss, and you always watch closely when Ozuna's up there with that big follow through, and he's hit Will Smith several times with the backswing. Will's not one to just take it.
He's a very intimidating hitter when he's in there in the box, and I'm sure with Will too. Any inside fastball, he's going to watch out on the swing and the backswing.
Scott delivers 3-2. Gets him swinging. Home run from Michael Harris. Braves on the board. 6-1, middle 8. Access Sportsnet Dodgers, presented by Audi, will follow us. John and Jerry and Nomar. Sweet hoodie giveaway tonight, huh?
It was very nice.
How many did you get?
I only saw one so far.
That's because yeah, covering
the pile,
up the
I
other
only
8.
saw the one on the top.
Yeah. Good night to have a hoodie giveaway too.
Very nice.
What are we down into the high 50s?
Oh yeah, I would say.
Raisel Iglesias to Andy Pages. This is the Braves closer here, and they've not had a chance to use him yet this season, so they say, hey, got to give him some work at some point. And the guy who's gotten better with age. 1.95 ERA last year at the age of 34. Out there to face Pages. 9-1-2 for the Dodgers. Iglesias, one of the best in baseball since going to the Braves a few years back.
Andy's like, wow, you bring in the closer to face me. I'm the only guy in the lineup who hasn't reached tonight. Let's go. Reach base here with 2 strikes. That's been a pattern for the Dodgers.
7 hits with 2 strikes in this game. League batting average 2 strikes, well below 200. The Dodgers up around 700. 2 strikes in this game. League average period over the first weekend of the season is 234. Of course, that number always starts lower, goes up as it heats up. Ground ball left side, picked by Austin Riley, and Pages is 0 for 4. But it remains the case that it is as hard as ever, statistically, to hit. Don't tell this man.
Designated hitter number 17, Shohei Ohtani.
He has struck out a couple times tonight, which is noteworthy because he had only 3 over the first 5 games, but he's walked twice.
Well, Dodgers came into this game hitting almost 20 points below the league average, as you said how low it was, but their home run ball has given them the, coming in today, a plus 14 run differential. And now they're winning this one by 5.
Facing his old Angels teammate here. Evans up 2-2. Angels are 3-1. Took 2 of 3 from the White Sox and beat the Cardinals in extra innings tonight. On 2-2, Ohtani watches it miss away. Giants also 3-1. They beat the Astros tonight. I mentioned the Padres off to a 5-0 start. Ohtani was looking for something else. 2 out.
Just a fastball right down the middle. He was definitely looking for something else.
Tigers leave Dodger Stadium, head up to Seattle. They've got 9 runs against the Mariners, 9-4. And the 9th inning in Seattle. Strikeout or a ball on Betts. Cubs have scored 16 in 6 innings in Sacktown against the A's.
Got to do a little research on the configuration of that ballpark, where the ball travels.
To left here, sinking in a hurry, but run down by De La Cruz. Raisel Iglesias with a ho-hum 8th inning. To the 9th we go at Dodger Stadium. Boy, what's going through that mind right now? Dustin May getting ready to start tomorrow. He last pitched in the majors May of 2023.
685 days, but he had a very nice spring training. The batting average against was just barely over 100. I think he gained a lot of confidence and feels pretty good about pitching tomorrow.
Luis Garcia to handle the ninth for the Dodgers. Chris Sale going to go for the Braves, the reigning Cy Young Award winner. A fun matchup. 7:10 first pitch. Wednesday's a little bit earlier, 5:38. That'll be Snell for the Dodgers, Bryce Elder for the Braves. They're going through the out-of-town scoreboard. One other score I wanted to pass along of note. The Brewers gave up 11 runs to the Royals today to fall to 0-4. Last 3 games, they've given up 43 runs. And they're the first team in the history of baseball to have a team ERA north of 12 through 4 games. It's not what you want.
No, it's not. But that actually feels a little low for me.
Well, they were really good on opening day. Gave up 4.
Okay, I was like, what?
2-2 on all
and
these.
even for the history of baseball, though,
I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah.
You'd think that maybe somebody really just get shellacked, but I guess that's enough shellac.
Full disclosure, I read it off of Reddit.
Okay.
I think that's probably accurate, but I don't know, maybe not.
Where do you go to check the internet? To
Reddit.
the internet?
To Krajewski.
That's true. Doctor.
BrewersBaseball.com. How bad are we? Shot to center and base hits start the ninth for Albies. First one of the day for him.
I love it when an older guy plays like a young guy, and he does. He brings energy.
Catcher number 30, Drake Baldwin.
Ultimate spark plug type, right? He hit leadoff for a lot of his career. Little guy, hustles. That was the thing when he first got there, the hustle that he brought. Still does those things, though. The fuel, the engine, the heart of this Braves team. All these years later in his 9th year now.
Enjoys the game, talks the game, got the gyrations and the grinding attitude. Yeah, just worth buying a ticket for to come watch play.
Drake Baldwin with runner at first, takes the ball, 2-0. Dream big and then do whatever it is you dream of is the message that his dad told him every day. And so this wonderful career he's had is in honor of his dad. His dad passed away 2 months after he turned pro. And that message is ringed in his head every day since. Toss over to first to get Baldwin, and the scoring position goes Albies. Ozzie was ready to quit when his dad passed. And again, it was just 2 months into his pro career, but his mom reminded him of his dad's words and what dad would want. So he stuck with it, got back to trying to live up to those words, aiming high and letting nothing stop you. Eli White is going to pinch hit for Brian De La Cruz here. And they had a very close relationship. Dad used to say, don't think of me as dad, think of me as your big bro. We're buddies. First one to White. In there for a strike. Has his dad with him at all times. He's got a picture of his dad on a necklace that he wears with him all the time. Right there. Out of Curacao, Ozzie would tell you, people like to live the whole week like it's the weekend there. Baseball and the beach. And a lot of fishing. And his dad would go to the beach, fish all day, and then fire up the barbecue and grill what they caught. Learn patience, he says, as a fisherman. Having to exercise that with the start they're going through, but he thinks it's one of his great qualities. It's helped him have the career that he's had. And it was born from those long days of fishing. Waiting for that one bite. And dinner. White's down swinging, and the Braves are down to their last out. And Rick has checked the internet. And 4 teams in Major League history have had a 10+ ERA through 4 games. 78 Orioles, 1954 St. Louis Cardinals, 2009 Indians, and the 2025 Brewers, a 12.27 ERA through 4 games. It's Kelenic. It's 0-1. That's the reigning division champ.
Yeah. It's going to be a big turnaround for that pitching staff.
Ground ball, foul. 2 strikes, 2 out in the 9th. Dodgers a strike away from matching the 1981 club for the fastest start, the best start in LA Dodger history. Back at it tomorrow. Dustin May, first start in 2 years. Chris Sale, reigning Cy Young Award winner. Sounds like must-watch TV. 1-2 from Luis Garcia.
Luis has outstanding stuff. He's just got to get it honed in, make it look like a strike a little sooner.
Try it again with a 2-2 pitch. Here it is. Luis trying to put up his first 0 here in his 4th game. He's pitched from 4 to 6. From 0-2 to 3-2 and back home.
Pretty much trying to become an off-speed expert. He's got the good little breaking ball right to left. He's got the changeup fading the other way.
Little cue shot. We'll do it again. Eighth pitch coming to Jarred Kelenic. There's the ball game. A 6-0 start for the Dodgers.
They took Dave Roberts' message in spring training to heart. He said, don't be the hunted, be the hunter. Well, they are very good hunters right now.
And they've matched Fernando's club. The 1981 Dodgers went on to win the World Series for the best start in LA Dodger history. Now they can set their sights on the franchise record, the 10-0 start of the 1955 championship club. Tyler Glasnow, winner in his season debut. 5 scoreless innings, plenty of offense, a 6-1 win. For Oral, Kirsten, and the rest of our crew, Joe Davis saying so long from Dodger Stadium. Game 2 of the series tomorrow night. We'll talk to you then.